Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick Nunji. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about the Three Stooges, more specifically about the 86 Stooge short by Columbia Pictures, If a Body Meets a Body. Now, it was released August 30th, 1945, and filming took place between March 9th and 13th of 1945. I'm cataloging every single Stooge short from number 1. Currently, I'm in 86, so if you missed any of the previous ones, be sure to check them out. I have a lot of behind-the-scenes type information, so if you like this kind of stuff, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and there's a link in the description to a playlist where you can go see the previous videos. So let's get right to it. As I mentioned, If a Body Meets a Body. Now, this is a very peculiar short, because I think that essentially this short changed everything. It marked a true benchmark in the Stooges' filmography. In this one, Curley learns that he is named in the will of his rich uncle, so the boys head for the uncle's mansion to attend the reading of the will. But there is a problem. They arrive in this dark and stormy night only to find out that the lawyer has been murdered and the will and his body has disappeared. So all the relatives had to stay inside this spooky, haunted looking house while the police investigate, and the Stooges are given the bedroom where the uncle was murdered. Now, after a series of unfortunate events for the Stooges with a walking skull and the uncle's body, which keeps turning up in strange places, the Stooges unmask the butler and maid as the killers and recover the will. Then they learn that Curley has only been left 67 cents from his uncle. It is not the best short after all, but it is one that I think doesn't play much, and that is probably because Curley is in condition. And his condition I'll talk about, which is very important to note. This short was made shortly after Curly Howard recovered from a stroke. If you really listen to it, and I'll leave you a clip here, you will notice that his speech at times is slurred and that his normal light falsetto is gone. And his lightning quick reactions, they're very slowed down compared to previous shorts.
Nice soup from a nice juicy bone. I'm Curly Q Link. No, I'm the Foundling. No.
Over the next 2 years, his health began to deteriorate even more, and the only real shorts that you can see that he has a performance increase, or his performance was like it was before, is in Microphonies, which was pretty much right after this one, and it was more noticeable the more Stooge shorts went along. And his last Stooge short was in 1947, and he finally passed away in 1952. And you may notice that this short is identical to the Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy short called The Laurel Hardy Murder Case. This was from 1930. And the same actor, Fred Kelsey, plays kind of a domineering, very strong-willed detective in both shorts. And so I think that is very interesting. Now, because of Curly's health, they had to make a lot of exceptions and do a lot of retakes for this short. Now, here's something that is very apparent and noticeable in the short, which tells you how bad it was for Curly. Now, when you see the Stooges are running down the stairs before bumping into the crook disguised as a housekeeper, you can see that there's a double that they use for Curly Howard. Now, that is an unusual unto itself. This is done previously, even for the other Stooges, but there's a real reason why they used it here, and that is because they were huffing and puffing down the stairs. It was actually physically too much for Curly, and this was to prevent him from using all of his energy for this scene, and they didn't want his blood pressure to get too high, affecting his medical situation. And so that's why they used his double, not so much because they were afraid that he would fall or hit his head or anything like that. It was all about his blood pressure and his condition, which was very fragile. It also must be noted that this Stooge short premiered the final version of the music, that is the intro music, Three Blind Mice, as the Stooges theme song at the beginning. It's an updated rendition of Sliding Strings, the version that was previously used regularly from the 1938 to the 1942 What's That Matador short. What is truly ironic is that the timing of using this theme is a little unusual, because this Three Blind Mice rendition is a lot slower, and this period, a lot of Stooge people call it the ill Curly period because of this revamped version that came at the same time that Curly's illness apparently began. So to the big Stooge fans out there, again, using an honest method, let me know if you've seen this short. I'd be surprised if you have, because as I mentioned, I thought I did, and it was one of those that is not widely seen. So let me know your thoughts. This is going to change everything, because as we continue on these Stooge shorts, you're going to see that there are big changes in Curley's performance that we can see and hear, and pretty much it's unfortunately the downfall of his performance, and eventually will lead into Shemp coming into the Stooges, and we'll be talking about him before we talk about Joe Besser and so forth. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you are a fan of this video. It does mean so much to me. Don't forget to always stay positive, and most importantly, be hopeful. A big recognition to my Diamond and Platinum tier patrons: Daniel B, Citizen Kane 359, David D, Russ C, Sally Ann, and Vito L. If you want to join the Patreon family and get exclusive perks, make sure to check the links in the description. Thanks.